Hey guys, I wanted to give you an update and to apologize for the long gap in between major videos. There's not going to be much in the way of discussing future videos beyond what I've already talked about in the last update. This is more to discuss what's been going on and the status of the channel. Things have been really slow in terms of main content. I've just got done with the Sticker Star highlights, but I don't have anything else really ready to go. To be honest, I'm kind of unsatisfied with the state of the channel right now, and it's of my own making. I'm immensely proud of the Sticker Star review. I'm proud of the amount of work that was put into it, not just by me, but also my friends who helped me with it, as well as revamping the channel's aesthetic. I was quite excited for the future of this channel during that and after, but the way things played out after that video didn't quite go how I wanted it. As I said, a lot of work went into that Sticker Star video, and even before that, aside from a couple in-between reviews like Luigi's Mansion 3 and Grabbed by the Ghoulies, and some smaller stuff, I had been working on this Paper Mario marathon almost non-stop. To avoid burnout, I wanted to take a break from Paper Mario after Sticker Star, so I planned out 3 relatively smaller reviews I'd do before going back to Paper Mario. Those were the Taz Wanted, Escape from Bug Island, and Star Wars Obi-Wan reviews. This should have been simple, but there were some missteps. I forced myself to make the Taz Wanted video in 1 month, which I did. It wasn't all that hard. It was a small and simple game, and I already had the footage recorded. But it's still a full review that I had to make in a relatively short amount of time. The problem was that it was September, and I wanted a Halloween video. So immediately after that, I forced myself to also make the entire Escape from Bug Island review in a month. And unlike Taz, I didn't have the footage ready, so the entire recording, script writing, voice recording, audio editing, and video editing processes had to be done in an even shorter amount of time, because I decided I wanted to have this review done by the 25th for my friend's birthday. I don't regret doing that, but I scrambled to get that review done in time, and it kinda burnt me out. I had just made the biggest and most ambitious video I'd ever made, and I didn't give myself a lot of time to relax before spending the next 2 months rushing to finish 2 whole reviews. Now, Star Wars Obi-Wan was what I needed, because it was another small and simple game, but I didn't rush it. I gave myself a lot more breathing room to do it at my own pace, and it felt good to make. But then I realized it was getting pretty close to April, and I already planned out an April Fool's video. I wanted to get back to Paper Mario, but I had to drop that to make sure I had the April Fool's video done on time. I had about 2 months to make this, which is better, but the game I was covering was Sonic Mania, which doesn't sound like it would be an intimidating task. It's a short platformer you can play through in a day. But no, this video took a lot out of me. There are a few issues with this. It wasn't as simple as playing through the game and moving on to the script. I had to play through the game 7 times. Once with each character, a Knuckles and Knuckles playthrough, and an Encore mode playthrough. Not to mention other stuff like showing off the bonus content and multiplayer. But that's not it. Because of how I wanted to cover the game, where it wasn't just reviewing Sonic Mania, it was also essentially going over my thoughts on the classic Sonic games as a whole, and from the perspective of someone whose platformer experience comes from Mario and Donkey Kong. So that took more work, and more recording. On top of the 7 Mania playthroughs, I did 2 whole playthroughs of Sonic 3 because I needed footage of that game as well. And I needed footage of the other classic Sonic games, though not of the entire game, so I only needed to play a few levels from each, so that wasn't a big deal. But recording a single playthrough of Mania and 3 was basically a full day's of work. 9 days were just for recording, 7 of those for a single game. I rather enjoy these games, but I was tired of them after that, and I still needed to script the video and everything else. And this was bigger than the last few videos, being an hour and 20 minutes. So while I had more time than Taz at Bug Island, I still had to scramble to get this done, and I barely made it in time. If I had started working on that video a couple days later than I did, I might not have made it in time. That video burnt me out. And that wasn't the end of it, because after all that was done, it had been basically 8 months since the Sticker Star video. That was a bit of a substantial break from Paper Mario, and I didn't want it to be that long. But I had also promised to make highlights from the Sticker Star recordings. I really didn't want it to take that long to get those done, and I wanted to get that out of the way before I got back to Paper Mario proper, so I got to work on those highlights. But for some reason, editing stuff like Let's Plays or highlight reels is my weakness. Look, editing videos can be time-consuming and tedious, but it's also rewarding and satisfying to see a video being put together. But for me, editing down footage to make highlights is super draining. It's not hard, it's very simple, but the process is very thoughtless. Find the gaps in between the interesting or funny parts and cut them out. Simple stuff, but that's all you do. You don't think about much when doing it, and so it's just monotonous and not satisfying to create, unlike a real video, because you are putting together your vision of a passion project. You get to see your creation you've been working on for months come to life. Highlights or Let's Plays is just taking something you already experienced and making it more digestible. You're not seeing something being created when you make it, you're taking out the empty space in between the good moments. I hope that made sense, but the point is, the process of making highlights to me is very monotonous, and it was hard to bring out the drive and motivation to work on them as much as I should have, which is why it took so much longer to make these than it should have. Didn't help that in the middle of it was Dawn of a New Day, the charity marathon that my friends set up that I participated in. That was a wonderful experience, and I wouldn't trade it for anything, and would gladly do it again. But it delayed the highlights even further. I finally finished them, but it's been over a year since the Sticker Star review, and this is all I've been able to do. I've been stressing out about the channel and the Paper Mario Marathon for a while because of all this. I finally got the highlights done, which is a huge weight off my shoulders, but now it's been over a year since the Sticker Star review. It really doesn't feel like it, but it has been that long, and I haven't even started with Color Splash. And that has been eating away at me. I sometimes get comments asking when or if I'll cover Color Splash, which is a reminder of how I failed to properly plan things out. I don't want to keep you guys waiting. Not even just that I don't want to wait. I just want this marathon to be over, but there's a lot more work that needs to be done to finish it. Not only am I at square one when it comes to making the Color Splash video, but I also need to re-record the first two Paper Mario games because I lost some of the footage for the first game. And for Thousand Year Door, well, what happened to that footage is a can of worms. But I also have another Paper Mario related video that I need to make before I get to Color Splash. I know setting back Color Splash some more with another video, but it is part of the marathon. I think you guys deserve to know what this video is. Remember this video, Paper Mario and the Dark Prognosticus, where I went over how Super Paper Mario could be like if it was more like Thousand Year Door? Well, I'm also doing it for Sticker Star. That wasn't something I initially thought I was going to do, but Hurain managed to convince me. So now to talk about what the plan is moving forward. Finish the Paper Mario Marathon, make this reworking Sticker Star video, then jump straight into Color Splash, and then go right into Origami King. No breaks, just Paper Mario until it's done. I want this done so I can move on to other projects. I'm not going to delay them anymore. This also means that there won't be a Halloween video this year. I do like having something appropriate for Halloween, but we're at the end of August. If I want to have something ready, I'd have to start now. And as I said, I'm not delaying Paper Mario anymore. I also probably won't have an April Fool's video for next April. I do have a couple really fun ideas for April Fool's videos that I do want to do, but I'm not going to promise to have one for each year. If it's too inconvenient to drop everything to work on one of them, I'm going to skip it and save it for the next year. And I think it's reasonable to assume I probably won't be done with Paper Mario by next April, given how long bigger projects tend to take. I also don't think I'll be doing a reworking video on Color Splash. While I also didn't think that I would for Sticker Star, but am doing it anyways, from what I've heard of Color Splash, it wouldn't be nearly as interesting a topic as Sticker Star or Super Paper Mario. I also just don't want to be honest. I want to be done with this marathon. I don't want to extend it. If Hurain tries to convince me, I'll make him make that video. By the way, if you don't know Hurain by now, he's a friend of mine who has helped a lot with this channel. And he has made his own video on his channel. Don't expect a lot from him. He's not aiming to be a YouTuber. Just occasionally, if he has an idea for a video, he might make it. But I'll leave his video in the description and end card. Anyways, I'm also not going to do more highlights for Color Splash or Origami King like I did with Sticker Star. No more delays, and that burnt me out, as I said, so I'm just not doing them. I'd only really be willing to do it if I had someone else to do it for me, but I don't have the money to hire an editor. But speaking of which, there's something I need to talk about. I've been making videos for over 5 years now, and during that time, that's basically all I have been doing. I never truly expected that I'd make it big, that I'd get hundreds of thousands of subs and be able to live off this. Now it has gotten bigger than I ever thought it would, but that's still tiny. It would have been nice if I could live off this, but it's been obvious for a long time that this isn't sustainable. I can't keep going on like this hoping that it'll work out. I need to do more. Not just to get financial stability, but I want to create things. I already have been with my channel, but videos aren't the only thing I want to create, and I need to take steps to actually be able to make what I want to make. Now, I'm not giving up on the channel. I want to continue it, but I may have to shift it to strictly a hobby thing soon. And I also want to mention that I've started envisioning what the end of the channel will look like. I've written down basically every video I want to make, and am planning out how I want to end things when the time comes. Now don't worry, because that won't be for a long time. The list of video ideas I have is about 75 videos long, give or take. Some ideas could get scrapped or combined into other videos, or more ideas could be added just by playing new games or discussing games with friends. Sometimes a spark of inspiration can come from very little. So don't worry, I've got plenty of ideas for videos, and a good amount of these are ones I refuse to not make. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, but I have a loose goal in mind. And once that goal is reached, I'm not going to keep it chugging along. Even after that point, if I have another idea for a video I want to make, well, I'll just make it anyways. Maybe this is pointless to talk about now since I'm not exactly speedy with videos, and with so many video ideas, this will take years to finish, especially if it's going to be strictly a hobby thing. But it doesn't hurt to have a planned end. And that's all I wanted to say. Not much new in terms of what videos I have announced, but I wanted to get all that off my chest. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. I'll still be around even if things in my personal life may be changing soon. I'll see you guys for Sticker Comet, and then finally Color Splash.